So I told you before, HydroSal fragrance is a technology that we have been used for a long time, maybe 15 years now. There are many products on the market with HydroSal fragrance, both HydroSal 1 and HydroSal 2. So what HydroSal is doing for the fragrance? Number one, it's enabled to produce alcohol-free fragrances that people can smell and enjoy, and they are non-flammable. So very easy to handle and to store compared to alcoholic base perfumes. And the HydroSal makes the fragrance much more skin friendly. It would not irritate the skin. It stays on the skin and slowly release. It's increased the perceived value of fragrance. So the fragrance lasts longer and allow people to enjoy the fragrance for longer. So the value of the fragrance increased. Sometimes it requires less perfume and you get more out of what you use. It's also enabled the perfume or the fragrance or the essential oil to have a functionality. For example, certain fragrances are used to add a property to the finished product, like freshness. So you feel fresh because of the fragrance. Some fragrances add properties such as softness, fabric softener, for example, or laundry detergent when we talk about fresh laundry, which means we cover the malodor or we eliminate the malodor, or just on the face, on the hair, we feel fresh. So functionality is the property that HydroSal is providing. It also provides an on-demand fragrance because you put it on and then you go out in a warm day or hot day and you definitely get the burst release when you expose to the water. So this is a benefit, a surprising benefit that comes in. Of course, products that are made for the gym or to the sauna and all this that are involved the exposure to humidity. HydroSal 1 is, of course, reduces the malodor, and this is another benefit of HydroSal fragrance. So HydroSal fragrance can be used in fine perfume, in toiletry, different product, even pets, and even in home care, carpet refresheners, and so, and so, and so. Endless possibility. We tested several fragrances for their longevity, and I want to tell you that it's not always working. With some fragrances, especially diluted fragrances. How do you know the fragrance is diluted? Low cost. If it's a low cost, it's diluted, and you don't see you don't always see the benefit. So with fragrances that we tested, we can find here, you see the fragrance intensity on the y-axis is a function of time. You see that the HydroSal fragrance gives you a longer lasting and a higher rate of intensity compared to the free. Sometimes you see the time 0, the free is below the HydroSal. Sometimes they are the same. So every fragrance is different. And it's very difficult to get generalization. But if we look at this graph, HydroSal 2, you see the fragrance intensity as a function of time. You see that they start almost at the same point, and then HydroSal 2 shows a much higher perceived value intensity of the fragrance up to 5 hours. Now at 5 hours, we applied water on the surface. And what do you see? You see that the free will not get a burst. Intensity almost the same. But with the HydroSal, significant pickup in the intensity of the fragrance. So this was a fragrance that would use 2% in a hydroalcoholic spray on skin. This shows the ability to extend the release and the ability to respond to water. Here is a more defined data on the intensity of exposure to water. So this is the fragrance intensity as measured with the panel. Dry, no exposed to water, intensity of 1. And with wet, it goes up to 4 So it's a significant burst. I must tell you, it's not always happening, but depends on the fragrance. So you have to try it, and then you get a wonderful solution. So HydroSal fragrance applications are multiple, from facial tissues to hair care, activities with ironing, styling. Shown out that HydroSal is releasing at high temperature. So it helps to give a response when the temperature of the hair goes high, and then it releases a burst of fragrance. HydroSal is very effective as a room freshener, also as a car freshener, as an air freshener in general. HydroSal is used in surface cleaning. It's also being used with pets, and there are many, many more applications. In case of skincare, HydroSal is used for perfume to make clear, fine perfumes, as well as splashes. The uniqueness of HydroSal in this case, not just it's clear, because water and alcohol is clear. It's clear in water and alcohol, but the fact that you can use it without alcohol. And as I told you before, alcohol is not a friendly material for the skin or other kind of surfaces. Yes, if you want to kill bacteria, but if you don't want to kill bacteria, just want to put it in order to smell nice, alcohol is not a desirable material because it's drying and actually killing the skin. So HydroSal is a solution for people that would like to use alcohol-free solutions. And it's used in toiletry, like deodorants, and so many other products. The other function of HydroSal 1 is the malodor reduction. I briefly explain it so you can make an advantage of this. So what you see here is the core. The core, as you see, very porous. So if we load the pores with any kind of perfume and we apply it on the surface, the perfume will be released because the perfume is volatile. It's like to transfer from liquid phase into vapor phase. This is the nature of a perfume. Some of the essential oils mixed with some volatile materials, they will diffuse fast. Now the surface inside the pores now is empty and it's become reactive. And if it's reactive, it's able to absorb other materials. Other materials could be, for example, the materials that make you smell smoke, the material that make you smell onion, garlic, even ammonia. So the material, the core, it functions as almost like an ion exchanger. It's absorbing one from another. So first it has to release the perfume, and then it can absorb, and by this it can eliminate the malodor. So this is the principle behind malodor reduction. So as you know, malodor reduction is only works with HydroSal 1, and you see here a test that we did. We measured the malodor over time, and the control is the black line on top, and you see it's constant over the time. In other words, it stinks, okay? But we use a HydroSal and a free fragrance, and the amount of fragrance was the same, 1%. So you see this green line shows the odor, the malodor intensity of the free. So it's covering, 75%. But over time, as the fragrance gets evaporate, the malodor is going down. However, when you use the HydroSal, you see almost immediately it starts from a lower and it cut the malodor significantly over time up to the point that you don't even smell the malodor. So malodor reduction is strong for HydroSal 1. Now, a special case of HydroSal is called Sal Scent. It is a version of HydroSal. It's not exactly HydroSal. So what is salt scent? To those that are absolutely not familiar with this is a fantastic technology that brings us to a different area of do-it-yourself. We give our customer a tool to encapsulate perfumes and essential oil by themselves. And this is a significant benefit because they can control how much they want to load it, how much total volume they need, and when they want it. So they prepare it just before they manufacture the finished product. So this is a tremendous benefit to formulators or producers that want to have this ability to extend the release, but they don't want to send us the perfume or whatever they want to encapsulate and send them back. This all costly process. So here they can do it themselves. So this is added value to the perfume. It makes the perfume, the function, last longer. That's the ultimate benefit. And it triggers with moisture. So the same benefits that I explained about HydroSal, you have also with salt scent. So practically, you don't need to send us your perfume if that's what you want. All that you need is to use HydroSal in your place. How to use HydroSal? So here is a very short video that explains you very simply how to use. So this is the process. You see HydroSal, salt scent is a viscose solution and it's clear solution. And all that you need to do is to add it into a small vessel and a mixer. That's all you need. Then you gently mix it while you add the perfume. Slowly add the whole perfume. Okay? Once the perfume is added, and it continue to mix it, okay? Gentle mixing, no homogenization is required. Sometimes it's a few hours and voila, you have the blend. This blend now can be diluted and added to the formula. So this is our procedure. Now, how much fragrance to add? So I leave you here with this video, which is also on YouTube. And this video, okay, there is a noise here.
I'll be using our salt scent technology. And the fragrance I'll be using is natural citrus fragrance. First, I'm going to be adding the salt scent into the test tube. Now, I'm going to add the fragrance. I'll be adding it at 10% at a time, so you can see the gradual mixing of the product. I will determine at what level salt scent cannot be loaded with any more of this fragrance. You can see before mixing that the products are separated. I'm going to use the Maxi Mix 2 to form a vortex and mix the products together until it becomes homogeneous. The load is successful. Now I'm going to add another 10% of the fragrance. Now I will mix it again. Now I'm going to add another 10%, bringing the percentage of fragrance to 30. I'm going to add an additional 10%, bringing the percentage of fragrance now to 40. And I will continue to add another 10%, bringing us to a total of 50% fragrance and 50% sour scent. And I will continue mixing the products using Vortex. The load of 50% fragrance is not successful. As you can see, even after mixing, the top layer of fragrance separates from the bottom layer of sour scent. I have determined that the maximum load level of this fragrance in sour scent is below 50%. To summarize, I have just shown how easy it is to encapsulate a maximum amount of fragrance into sour scent. Fragrance encapsulation with sour scent can be completed at any facility. Simply add your fragrance into sour scent and mix until it turns homogeneous. Encapsulation is typically complete within 10 to 15 minutes. Sour scent is compatible with most formulations, including clear aqueous or hydroalcoholic bases. With sour scent encapsulation, the fragrance of your product can claim timed release, sustained release, release on demand through moisture or perspiration, or body heat activation. These claims all improve cost effectiveness.
So this actually was showing to you how to load the fragrance into sour scent, and you see how easy it is. So everybody can do it in the lab. If you have difficulties to do it, we can do it for you. You just need to send us your perfume and we can do it for you. That's not a problem. The uniqueness of HydroSal is, especially for you, because you are meeting various kind of prospects. Some of them are doing personal care, but also doing household or toiletries. So HydroSal, very useful in different type of deodorants, because you have the situation of dry and wet. And wet is where bacteria can grow, and this is where you need protection. So you can think about releasing a preservative to prevent bacteria from growing, or you just release a perfume because the preservative or the antibacterial is already there. You just want to enhance the perception of the product. So fragrance release, you can use it in a combination of product that can give you again, the same concept of dry to wet on sheets, for example. The more that you use the sheets with the body motion and moisture, that's also releasing the fragrance. Different type of clothes, linens, fabrics, people have used and present some moisture, exposure to moisture, and this exposure can be used to release. Now, this is all examples to just give you what else you can do with this, or what ideas you can present to customers and say, hey, look, somebody else did the same. Why don't you go into this? This is an alert system. It's put below the sink, and every time there is a leak of water, the water will activate a fragrance release, so you can smell the fragrance, and it get you an idea that something is leaking. So this is for household. A different type of hard surfaces, tile cleanser, for example. You spray it on the tiles, and every time you take a shower, there is increase of moisture in the area, and this will release a fragrance, and it's deodorizing as well. Pets, different type of pets, release of water spray, release of water turn out to be useful, and also in cow deodorizing spray. These are just a few examples of where HydroSal can be used beside in personal care.